Adam, why does the Doctor have such awkward dealings with Captain Jack?
Matt, I have no idea actually.
Because the sonic screwdriver doesn't work on wood.
Planet of the pudding brains.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Would you like a jelly baby? Shut up!
Hello and welcome, Whovians. It's time for a brand new episode of Musings of a Pudding Brain, so grab your sonic screwdriver, grab your scarf, wrap yourself in a brand new fez. I don't know if that's wrapping, but whatever.
Top yourself. Top yourself with a fez.
There we go. Because it's time. My name's Adam.
And I'm Matt.
And this week we are going over Kerblam!
Kerblam! It's such a great onomatopoeia. It's like you just know something's going to blow up.
Yes.
A lot of things are going to blow up because you just can't have that without it. But, yeah, so we open up with Team Tardis having flight issues again.
Yes.
As always.
The Doctor is still trying to understand these new controls.
Yeah, new controls, yes. But they get things under control because they're dodging something basically, and then the Doctor figures out, oh, it's a teleport pulse. I'm like, of course, like I just had to get closer so I could see it. It intercepts them, and it's this really weird looking animatronic robot.
Yeah, that is
that the Doctor's immediately like, it's the Kablam man. It's like, why? That just sounds so wrong on many levels. But
I love Graham's response. You're just making up words now.
Right, you're just making stuff up. You're just making it up. No, it's a delivery system. They're the world's biggest retailer in the biggest retailer in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And like, okay, and it found us. Space postman. Now I've seen everything. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, Graham just going like, all right, I'm just rolling with it. Yep. Sure, why not? It's not the weirdest thing I've seen so far, so sure.
I've almost been killed by a planet, so we're good here.
Right, and the Doctor says, well, I don't remember ordering anything because the package is for her.
Yes,
and it's like, I don't know, and opens it up, and it's a fez that she ordered like 2 bodies ago.
Yes,
I'm sorry, the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith's character, actually orders it during an episode and is just, I'm going to order a fez, and makes mention of it, and then, like, never gets it, never happens. She finally got it.
Yes. That episode was The Big Bang. It was Series 5, Episode 13.
Right. And I love how she puts it on. It's like, is it still me? And of course, Graham and Reiner's like, yeah, all right. Again, it's not the weirdest thing we've seen you wear so far, so rock on.
Go for it. Why not?
It's all right. But inside the package, along with like the packing slip, Yaz finds a message on the back of it that just says, help me.
Yes.
Like, awesome. So, of course, let's off to, corporate headquarters and find out what it is. And of course, Ryan immediately is like, grabs into the package and grabs the bubble wrap and just starts popping. And I was like, of course you do.
Well, of course. Even in another galaxy, there is bubble wrap.
Right. And of course, Ryan's background in a warehouse.
No.
He's popped yards of bubble wrap just out of sheer boredom.
He's like, pop. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta cut that slice off. Okay.
Oops. Yeah. So they show up on the moon of Kandoka.
Thank you for getting that, because I could not write that down.
Yeah, and it's... I won't lie, I had to look up how to spell it.
Oh, okay.
My original phonetic spelling was nowhere near. There's no L's in it at all. It's not Klandoka. It's definitely Kandoka.
Oh, okay.
Like, yep, would have never gotten that in a million years. Thank you, Google. But they've turned, this corporate offices has turned the entire moon into a giant warehouse and distribution center.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. That's like a really demented version of the Death Star. But okay, we'll roll with it.
It's Amazon on steroids.
Yeah. Ryan makes a crack about him on the other side of the galaxy, and I still feel like I'm at work. It's like, I feel you, dude.
Yeah.
I feel you. They, of course, decide to quote unquote sneak in his new arrivals.
Yeah, Ryan's going back to work.
Ryan's like, yeah, this is going to be an easy fit for me. I'll just fit right in. But the sonic screwdriver and the psychic paper are employed to kind of befuddle this poor head of people, Judy Maddox. And the psychic paper says, oh, you're relatives of the first lady. Like, oh, yeah. And all of them are like, yeah, we're all relatives of her. We don't like to talk about it. We're very private. Like, okay, really extended family going on here. Like,
oh, yeah.
Diversity is all well and good, but seriously, are you all adopted, or was somebody setting up franchises? I just want to know.
I like the franchises idea.
I mean, something's going on here, but okay, you're all family. Cool, rock and roll. So, and Judy's a very bubbly kind of HR person. She's all about, like people power, power to the organics and what. Oh, I'm sorry, you just get caught up in the lingo. Like, don't call me an organic. That's somehow wrong.
That's actually kind of offensive.
Yeah. And as they're going through the main lobby, we spot a couple of different characters. We meet Dan Cooper, who was a picker in the warehouse, who kind of makes a sort of Han Solo-esque joke to one of the teammates who are, it's the name of the robots, the delivery people. Like calls them a name, and the robot's like
Fred or something.
That's not my name, but I appreciate your attempt at humor. Have a good day, Dan. And Dan turns around and like, yeah, so much for learning robots every day.
Yeah. He's like, so someday you're going to respond with, doing great, Dan. How are you?
Right. Just for something different. It'll totally catch him off guard. No. We also spot Charlie, the janitor, polishing a case. He'll be important later on.
Yes.
And as I said, we're introduced to the actual name of the Kerblam man, which is, they just call them the teammates, which are basically robotic supervisors, which would suck because most supervisors are pretty robotic to begin with.
And then we just yeah. Oh.
Now, as this is going on, they get scanned, like body scanned, for their job details.
Right.
Because of course they're sneaking in as workers, so you're gonna have to go do this. And Judy's going on about the warehouse is 90% automated, but due to Kandokan law, 10% has to be people powered. And there's stuff going off on the PA system about, Kerblam is, powered by people. And now at this point in the back of my head, just there's a voice screaming Cybermen.
Yes.
Because, okay, we're powered by people. Somebody's calling for help, and there's a lot of creepy robots roaming about. Somebody's getting upgraded. It's okay. I'm calling Cybermen at this point.
Because I saw a lot of the robots having very plastic look to it. I was like, oh my god, we're actually getting the Autons. I was like, classic villain. Here we go. Nope, never mind. But they also find out that the warehouse has periodic power drains for no apparent reason, and Judy just kind of blows it off and just you make a moon into a warehouse, it's not going to be perfect, whatever. And oh hey, we're gonna like strap these ankle bracelets on you. Yep,
these are your group loops, which monitor. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's a very fruity way of saying,
hey, here's your ankle monitor.
And this is going to monitor your location and your productivity and everything else going on.
Yep.
Great. Constant surveillance. That I love it when people hover over me at work. It's just awesome.
Yes.
Get away from me. Let me do my job. Get away from me.
Now they can do it from the distance too.
Right. And, the doctor probes a little bit with Judy, and the morale of the human workers seems good. She doesn't have any really complaints. Nobody's saying anything, but there's going through the tour, there's over 600 million products being processed in this plant. There's 10,000 employees. It's the biggest human workforce in the galaxy, which they're very proud of. And she gives them the tour through the entire plant, system relays orders to the pickers and fulfillment department. Again, it's the fulfillment department. You would think there was something else going on there. You got 10,000 people on the moon. I bet there's a fulfillment department going on somewhere. But anyways, they scan the products there, send them to the packers. Again, once the orders are packed, the order then goes on to the conveyor, and Judy makes it very clear that they are to stay off the conveyor. Keep your stuff off the conveyor. Don't lean on the conveyor. And if you are caught on the conveyor, it is immediate termination. At which, like, through this entire speech about the conveyor, the doctor's face just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Oh, come on!
Like, there clearly was I want to ride on the conveyor at some point.
Absolutely. She looks at Graham, and Graham gives her the eyebrows. Like, sorry about that. That's
Those
how
are
it
the
is.
rules.
Yeah. Just funny little aside. Once the product goes off the conveyors, it ends up in final check. Parcels are checked, sealed, sent down the hatch. All right, first of all, anything that's got a proper name to it that you're clearly not supposed to slide down, this is Doctor Who, you're going down that thing.
Yeah, somebody's sliding down.
Somebody's sliding it. And that goes to dispatch, where there's hundreds of conveyors pumping parcels down to fully automated lower level. No humans on the lower levels. Nope. All automated. And then from dispatch, all of the robot postmen gather the parcels and deliver them. So it's all very streamlined, very linear.
Yeah.
Very little downtime, constantly being observed and watched at all times. Now, once learning all this, the Doctor uses the Sonic to change the group loop with Graham, because she needs to go talk with the Packers. Because they're the ones who are putting the slips into the boxes. So we're going to start there. And Graham's like, why are you switching with me? I need to go here, so we're going to switch. And the lights change, and they're like, oh, okay. So they all get split up, and, Yaz goes to the Pickers. The Doctor and Ryan end up going to the Packers, and they're getting led away by their teammates, and Graham's like, what about me? And, Graham, welcome to the new team. Always good to have another plant maintenance officer, and like hands him a mop and bucket.
Yes.
And Graham just looks at
You're
Ryan's
a janitor
like,
now.
Not a word. So they're all dying. Like, once again, Graham literally gets the poop end of the stick on the split up detail.
Of course.
And their basic idea is they're going to start probing around and asking, is anybody in need of help? Is there anything weird going on? Why would this happen? Where do these slips come from? And they're all split up and led away to train. Now we follow the Doctor and Ryan to the packing department, where they meet Kira Arlo, who is a very bright and very bubbly and very cute and optimistic, and
she's the plucky one.
Yeah, it's great to work. I mean, we shouldn't complain too much. It's so hard to get a job, but I just think about people opening the gifts, and I only got one present in my life, and it was just so awesome to get that. And Ryan's like, wait.
Hold up.
You've only got one present in your life? Yeah, it was from Judy in Head of People. It was
for
a box
my birthday
of chocolates
last year.
For my birthday last year. What about your parents? Never really knew them. Like, oh, you're so tragic and just like you're Ophelia, for God's sakes.
How are you so plucky?
Yeah, like why you're going to go mad or you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
Again, this is Doctor Who. Something really bad is gonna happen to you because you're cute. Nobody votes for cute.
Exactly. We need the tragic one to die.
Right. But we find out that the slips are actually generated by the system.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, poop, then who has access to the system? So then we flip to Yaz, who is chatting up Danny while they're picking. And after some back and forth and talking, one of the teammates shows up and is like, hey guys, why don't you
get back to work?
Yeah, keep social interactions for break time. How about we pick it up a little bit? And it's the cloying, almost game show host kind of voice, where it's just like, hey, isn't it a great day? Let's go. Let's get to work. Come on, let's do this. Like, yeah, you're creepy, dude. Okay. And Danny blows him off and is like, yeah, okay, we'll do that, Basil.
Yeah. I chuckle. I've been management in retail, and you have to actually have that voice. You have to be as fake as you possibly can, because there are days that you just stop and you're like, I can't be happy about working here today.
See, that's why whenever I was management, I got to the point where I would walk up on people who were obviously chatting and I'd just smile at them and they'd be like, hey, I'm like, so you know what I'm going to say, right? Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
And they disperse and be like, all right, like, don't make me say the speech again. Come on, man.
I don't want to have to do this.
Yeah, don't make me do this. I know I'm your boss, but I don't want to have to act like your boss right now, so don't make me do that. But yeah, and we find out Danny is like the model employee. In fact, he's literally the model employee. They make a poster out of him.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, keep your nose straight and do your job, and maybe you can get a picture and get a poster.
Like, that is actually you.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, I sent one to my daughter for her birthday. Well, where's she? Oh, she's upstairs. She's in charge of files. But, no, she's back on the planet. He's just teasing her a little
sarcastic Dan is immediately.
Right, just poking fun, and you can tell he's a very good-natured kind of guy, and just like, I'm trying to do right by my daughter, so she doesn't have to do something like this. She can do something better.
Right.
And then Yaz is like, well, listen, Dad's not too bad.
No.
Ending up like the old man wouldn't be too bad. But they keep talking because, of course, Yaz is trying to probe, like, is anybody need help? Is anything going on? Anything weird? And Danny really doesn't say anything until once again he's like, listen, be careful what you say, because one of the teammates comes up again and is like, hey guys, guess what? We need to get back to work, okay?
Yeah.
And he's kind of getting rather insistent. Like, all right, yeah, sorry. And Danny warns Yaz, like, listen, just so you know, be careful what you say, because they can literally hear everything. It's continual randomized observation.
Yes.
There is no such thing as privacy. Like, oh, that would suck so bad, because I've got a big mouth and I talk shit to myself all the time.
Just walking around alone. You're like, yeah, that boss. Yeah, I'll tell him what to do.
Well, it's something like that. Somebody called me on it once. They're like, are you talking to yourself? I'm like, no, I'm telling them off. It's not my fault. They can't hear me. Like, okay, so you're not talking to yourself. No, I'm telling them what a jerk they are. But, it's one of those things. Again, anybody who's worked retail or worked a warehouse job knows how it goes.
Yes.
But they both get a couple of orders, and Yaz gets one in some obnoxiously high-end section.
Section 999.
Okay. Which is why Danny then calls it the 999s. Like, the last person who got an order down there got canned. We never saw him again.
Yeah.
It was like,
they're gone.
Okay, how do you know they got canned if you never saw them again? Okay, creepy. Well, which of course triggers Yaz going, okay, there's somebody who might need help. But Danny is worried about something happening to Yaz, so he takes the orders like, no, I'm not going to let this happen to you on your first day.
Well, because there's hardly anything down there, and it's confusing,
and she'll get lost, and this and that, but you can tell he's legitimately worried. It's not like, oh, you'll get lost. It's, no, I'm making up an excuse because I don't want you going down there because I kind of like you. And
yeah, you're a good kid, and it's your first day.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So he's trying to be cool about it, but Yaz, of course, ends up following him anyway. But we also get another quick power drain.
Yes, another one.
Just to make a point. And like, wow, okay, that's happening a lot lately. Now, we get flipped over, and we get to meet Jarvis Slade.
Yeah.
Who is the warehouse executive, and he is absolutely a corporate manager.
He is a douche.
Said with all of the venom I can possibly put into the syllables. But Slade basically comes in, and Kira was saying something to the doctor, and he's like, okay, so how about we get back to work now, engage your brain if you can possibly find it. And Ryan is immediately like puffs right up. He's like, hey, don't talk to her like that. Oh, and
good employee.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. No, no, it's not okay. And the doctor jumps in and basically rips him a new one, telling him, like, you're a terrible manager. And he's like, how would you like a write-up for insubordination? It's like, I'd love one. I'll put it with the rest of my collection. And he just, like, completely disarms him because at that point he doesn't know whether to wind his ass or scratch his watch. He's just stymied. Like, who is this person just, like, talking to me? Like, doesn't realize I can just fire her.
Does not care if they get fired. Okay, how do I deal with this?
Right, and she, in the course of, basically tearing them up one side and down the other, she lays in with, the best managers, the best leaders know if any of their people would need help. Do you know of anybody who needs help?
Seriously.
And now he's like, crazy worker, okay. And he just disengages and tells everybody, all right, get back to work. And Kira warns the doctor and Ryan to be careful of him because, such and such employee was warned about leaning on the conveyor, and the next day he was gone. Nobody's seen him again. And, by the way, a few other people have gone missing. We really don't know what happened to them. Like, well, why haven't you said anything about this?
Well,
or asked a boss, or I haven't seen this. Did something happen where they terminated anything? Like, you talk with somebody, you want to know what happened to them.
Exactly.
Especially, again, having worked in warehouses, it's like high school. The grapevine is strong.
Everyone talks about
Everybody gossips about everything. It's just one of those things that happens.
Did you hear what so-and-so did the other day?
Right, and right on the revelation that other people have been missing, we flip back to Danny, who is somewhere in the 999 aisle. Dark. Well, it's like,
by the way,
it's clearly not maintained.
Why does, like, a clearly labeled section have to be weird and scary and have lights flickering, and why does it have to be creepy?
Right, it's an automated frigging warehouse. Why, like, a light starts to bug out? Why is there not a robot changing that stuff? So, if
also,
anything, you should, like, have a headache at the end of the day from all the fluorescent lighting going on. But I figured this was one of those capitalistic, oh, well, we're not going to spend the money to do that.
We're not really using the area anyway.
So on that side of things, Danny's really lucky he didn't have to wear a miter's helmet with a lamp on it, or like a candle, like he's a miner trying to find this thing. But
has
of course,
the lantern walking through.
He, of course, encounters a delivery bot.
Yeah,
who should be there.
Not just a teammate, a specific delivery guy. He's
right,
just like
that never leave the dispatch area.
Yeah, it's like, how did you get up here?
Yeah, what are you doing up here? And he tries, like, getting it to interact, and it says nothing, doesn't move, doesn't do anything, until he turns around, and of course it grabs him.
Yeah.
So, of course, again, good guy, you're dead. Bye.
Poof.
Poof. Yaz, who has followed him, hears the screaming, and of course goes running towards where she heard the scream, and finds Danny's scanner and the locket his daughter gave him that says dad. That
he totally foreshadowed about when he said that this will probably outlast me. Oh, that was dark.
Yeah. Like, so, and of course, Yaz is confronted with another set of teammates who show up behind her blocking the aisle, and she rightly ducks under some boxes and scurries out and books it.
Yeah, just gone.
Finally, a companion who knows when to run. I mean, seriously, like, okay, I'm out and I'm going for the doctor. Finally, a companion who gets that. Like, I'm going for backup.
I'm out.
So points for Yaz on the companion brain. Bonus points. Now, after that little goings on, we flip to Graham.
We finally catch up with
Graham, who is leaning on his mop and bucket and couldn't be more bored and falling asleep if he tried, because the teammates are now on safety rule 198. And at which point Graham is finally like, okay, guys, I get it.
Do not drink the cleaning fluids.
Yeah, do not drink the cleaning fluids. You would think that might be like a little higher than 198.
Unless a lot of it was the first rule is do not ride the conveyor belts.
Which was probably the first rule. Do not jump down the hatch. Do not ride the conveyor belts.
Oh, come on.
But Graham is finally able to chat up Charlie a little bit about, how does all of this actually work? And Charlie kind of gives him the rundown and, everything's, work order comes in and we have X amount of time to actually get there and clean things up, and everything is timed and automated, and your productivity is monitored at all times. And, Graham's pretty much like, so even though everything is automated, there's still an idiot boss.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So he's winning over Charlie, who is just happy to have anybody to really interact with, because it's just him.
Yeah.
And because everything is so scheduled, he doesn't have time to stop and chit chat with anybody, really.
Now he has a second person, so hopefully he gets to talk to somebody.
Right.
Because the boy does need to talk to people.
Yeah, somebody. He definitely needs to talk to people. He's very, very awkward. It's at this point where there's a big power drain, to the point where red lights pop on and the PA system announces temporary functionality issues. Team 9, please take emergency rest break in home zone. I was like, okay, first of all, can we discuss home zone?
Yeah, home zone.
There's got to be a better word for that, home zone. It just doesn't trip off the tongue very well.
It's clearly an AI created word.
I love the corporate speak of temporary functionality issues, instead of like, okay, fire, something's broken, we need to stop, everybody get the fudge out. Just fudge off, fudge out, go take a break. Take a break early right now, fudge off.
Yeah.
And so we of course get to the home zone.
It's really just the park.
Yeah, it's just a park. You assume there's 10,000 people living on this moon. They're going to have residential-esque areas.
Right.
And I'm sure this is just like a park within the level, not actually in the domicile level that there has to be somewhere on this thing, because they're not shuttling back and forth from the moon to the planet every day.
You live there.
Yeah. And this is where Team Tardis is finally able to meet up and kind of touch base as to where everybody's at, what's going on, what they've pieced together. Graham is basically tasked to find warehouse plans, schematics, and a bit of the history. And it's like, well, why do I have to do that? You're the maintenance guy. You can get anywhere.
No one's paying attention to you.
Yeah, and besides, it's going to make the most sense for you to have something like that. So just shush and go get it.
Just get that stuff.
And Charlie comes by and is like, hey, Graham, is that spell all done with? He's like, oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm all done. At which point, Charlie and Kira literally bump into each other, knocks her food tray down, and he awkwardly picks it up and is like, "Oh no, I don't mind, really."
Cleaned up that mess as quickly as he could.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I have such butterfingers." Like, I know. I love butter.
Team Tardis.
Team Tardis is just
so close.
Yeah, you almost want to see them start rubbing their temples, going, "Oh my lord!" Okay,
he had it. It was right there, and then
he bricked it, and then he bricked it because his next is like, "Oh, okay, well, I gotta go," and awkwardly spins away and just tromps off. And again, everybody's just like, "Oh my goodness, okay." Just
Charlie's gonna
rub
crush
the
on Kira.
eyebrows. That's pretty blatantly obvious.
And Kira sees it, kind of,
sort of,
mostly.
Not really sure, because again, Charlie's just so awkward. It may just be that he's just really weird and awkward. Maybe that's just him.
Things for me. I don't really get it right now.
Right. But we then take off from there. The Dr. Ryan and Yaz go to file a complaint with Slade and Maddox.
Yes.
And basically saying, these people are missing. Why aren't you doing anything? What is going on? And Maddox actually seems concerned, like, okay, no, we're going to be looking into this, but, why do you think this is? Well, I got this slip. Okay, it says help me.
Who prints these?
Who prints these? Well, they're auto-generated by the system. It's got to be a packer. And Ryan looks at Slade's like, have you ever worked down there? There's no time to slip anything new into there. The packers can't do it. It's got to happen between when it's printed and when it gets to the packers then.
Like,
and
it's
like, it's impossible. It can't be done. So they're stymied as to what's going on. And Maddox and Slade both say, we haven't heard anything about these people going missing, but we promised to look into it. And the doctor pretty much puts them on notice and just says, well, your words better mean something or you'll have me to answer to, and starts to storm off and then turns around. Laters. And I don't think I'm going to use that anymore. I'm just going to say bye. I'm going to stick with bye.
Bye.
Bye. It's like, how to kill your dramatic exit.
It was so good.
It was so
you
good.
Said laters.
And as they get out into the hallway, they decide that, the doctor decides that the best course of action is to basically hide in the closet until Slade leaves, and they're just gonna break back into the office and ransack it, look for anything.
Yep.
Again, it's just, have you ever hidden in a closet before? It's like, no. Oh, it's the best. Come on in here. And she makes a crack about something. Oh, Yaz says, you're just one of those people who just wants to poke the hornet's nest, or the wasp nest, just to see what happens, aren't you? And the doctor makes a crack about, no, but speaking of wasps, did I ever tell you about Agatha Christie? And it's like, and that's like another big Easter egg.
10th Doctor, Unicorn and the Wasp, where it's Tennant and Donna Noble. Oh, God. Catherine Tate,
yes. So another one of those little like, zing.
There are still references to past Doctor stuff.
Right. They're in there. They're totally in there. But, yeah, so that's the plan. Now we flip over to Graham basically ribbing the shit out of Charlie. Got a thing for Kira, do you? Is it that obvious? How did you know? Well, that's one of my superpowers, to observe the blatantly bloody obvious to everybody and sundry. Really? No!
It's blatantly
obvious. Seriously, what's your problem? It's like, he's just young puppy love, totally spitting. I can't breathe when I'm around her. I just can't think straight. And it's like, oh, dude, you're so cloyingly, sickeningly saccharine sweet. Stop it.
Like, I love the fact that, like, even Graham, who, a gentleman of a mature age, would be like, oh, man, I remember that too. He instead is just like, oh, that is disgusting.
Oh, God, you're an idiot. Stop it.
Stop it.
I know you're an idiot because I was an idiot once too.
Yeah.
That's why I can recognize the fact that you're an idiot. But after doing that, he basically talks Charlie into getting him a diagram of the warehouse, because the place is huge and it's his first day. He's worried he's going to get fired because he'll get lost. He just can't wrap his nut around the size of this place and the layout. And Charlie's like, oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, hold on.
I can grab you a map.
So they go to the front lobby.
Yes.
The stuff that's actually like on display as historical artifacts of the company.
Uh-huh.
They just like, Charlie, I think, intended Graham to just like take a look at it. And Graham just like, okay, I'm going to have somebody else look at this too. And just like, wait, you can't do that. And just off they go.
He's gone.
Now, as they take off past the teammates, a few of them kick on and track their movement. Like, okay, that's not good.
What's going on?
That's so not good. He's like, foreshadowing.
Like, oh no.
Flip back to the Doctor, Ryan, and Yaz finally breaking out of the closet and into Slade's office, looking for anything on the missing people.
Yeah.
And they basically get into a file cabinet, and the Doctor makes a crack about, ooh, analog. How quaint.
Well, I like how it's Yaz who's like, so everything's automated. And they're like, yeah, it's all digital and all this stuff. She's like, so why do you need a filing cabinet? Doctor's like, well, okay, why did I not even think about this?
Good point. Let's open that up. And it's at this point where Judy actually busts them.
Yes.
Like, what are you three doing?
And it's the
And they're
gentle
just like,
HR manager busting you. It's like, what are you guys doing? Seriously?
Yeah. Like, seriously, your group loops told me where you were. Like, so the entire time they're in their closet, that closet, they know exactly where they are. Like, what's going on here?
And Judy's like, what are they doing?
What are they doing?
I'm gonna wait for them to move.
It's like watching me trying to sneak across the room. It's just terrible, and
I'll
everybody
get over there.
sees you doing it. And like,
Really?
what are you doing?
Stop it.
Like, we can all see you. Like Drax trying to be invisible. No, really, we can see you. You're eating potato chips. No, I'm quite sure you can't see me. But they basically drop on her that, look, we found these files right here. Slade's tracking these 7 missing people.
Yeah.
It started off as 1, and then 2, and then 4 more this month. It's escalating.
And Judy's
Something
like,
is clearly wrong.
they're not here anymore. Judy's like, no, their group loops are still active.
And the system says they're working.
Yeah.
So yeah, because Judy is poleaxed about it, and she actually defends herself rather vehemently to the doctor about, I have made a career based on helping people, trying to get people jobs, give people a second chance. Asks Charlie, and Charlie's like, yeah, that's why I'm here. She's been great. She does everything she can, and basically tells the doctor to back off. I didn't know anything about this, but now that I do, I'm willing to do something. What are we doing?
This is priority 1 now.
Right. So here's the plan. Because the doctor always comes up with the plan where it's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So the plan is to get an original base code of Kerblam to plug into the system to get past all of the updates, firewalls, and find out what is going on fundamentally with the system.
Right.
To see what's wrong. Well, of course, yeah, so you're going to need, like, Kerblam 1.0. Well, where do we find that? Graham's like, I think we can help you with that, actually. We got that. So, again, back to the friggin' lobby.
Back to the lobby.
Main lobby, which you would think there might be at least 1 or 2 humans trolling about.
You would think. There is no one around.
There's nobody but these, like, deactivated teammates sitting there with, boxes in their hand. You pretty much think they're just stage dressing. But as they're grabbing the delivery bot 1.0 named Twirly, he looked kind of twirly.
Yes. I did like him.
In the main lobby, we flip to Slade. I actually missed a big part before we get down in there. One of the teammates actually comes in to the meeting room and attacks Charlie.
Yes.
And Maddox just like rips his head off.
Just
like
twist.
HR taking charge, just literally ripped its head off.
Like, no, this is
she works out.
Emergency protocol.
Right.
Go crazy, twist head, pull off.
Right. So like, kind of a big thing, and the entire time it was saying error detected, investigating. So it really wasn't hurting him. It just kind of had him in a chokehold against the wall.
Yes.
But, Maddox still yanked its head right. Like, we're not having any of that. That's my people's. Organics.
Yeah. Rise up, organics.
Right. Like, HR
like
takes
bread.
charge. So, as we flip forward, sort of an important part there. Sorry we missed it, but grabbing Twirly, Slade, of course, sees the feed because he's now investigating the headless bot in his office.
Well, yeah.
And loads a gun, puts it in his pocket, and off he goes. Again, somebody who needs a gun doesn't realize it's pointless against the doctor, but he doesn't know who he's dealing with,
exactly.
So we'll forgive him a little bit. Now, in the meantime, back in packing, Kira is greeted by 2 delivery bots who inform her that she has been named Employee of the Day. So like, oh my God, that's awesome. I didn't even know there was such a thing. They're like, well, you're entitled to a free gift from Kerblam. Please follow us. And she's like, oh, okay, and follows the 2 droids. It's like, this is such a bad
so plucky.
She is so gonna die.
Oh.
No,
Why do the robots have to trap you? They could just do it right there.
Well, take it off camera, man.
Oh,
You know how these
of
things
course.
work. Take it off camera.
It's off camera. Back room.
Now, Twirly, of course, needs a power charge because he's been sitting in a friggin' case for God knows how long.
Yeah. 200 years, something like that?
And while they're figuring that out, Maddox is alerted to the fact that Kira is now missing. Now, she hasn't been alerted to any of the other people missing up to this point because they were all still active. So why now is Kira being notified as being missing? Her group loop is completely off the grid unless the system, it's almost like the system is sending a deliberate message to them. Like, bum. What's going on there? So the Doctor, Grant, and Maddox stay back to deal with Twirly because they figure out the last point where Kira's group loop went offline was the Foundation level in dispatch where nobody goes down, and there's really no way to even get down there. And Ryan's like, I got this. I know how these places work, and big smiles on his face. So he's up to something. This is right along the lines of charging the assassin bots earlier.
Yes.
He's got an idea. It may not be bright. It may or may not work, but he's going to run with it. So Ryan, Yaz, and Charlie go to make their way to the Foundation level. At this point, we flip to Kira being led into a kind of a small, closed-in room with a table and a chair and a mirror, and it really looks like an interrogation room.
It's an interrogation room.
And it's like, the bots are like, here, just wait here. We'll be right back. And closes up. There's no doorknob on the inside door. It opens only one way. And it's like, she's still not picking up the fact that she's in danger.
Okay, now I have to ask, why does Kerblam have an interrogation room?
Yeah, that too.
That
even if it's like they're doing like surveys.
Yeah, but it
like having people doing surveys or something, but why would be in the depths where no people go?
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of creepy.
It was one of the power outages.
Right. And we have another power outage again.
Another one.
Big one this time.
And another one.
And then we flip over, and the Dr. Graham and Maddox are trying to talk Twirly after clearly going through a bunch of like upsells and no, we really don't need this and whatnot. And
nope.
Finally get to the last question. It's like, okay, and your preferences have been saved. And they basically have to work around his programming and talk him into the fact of, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to plug you into the system, and we want you to go find this particular set of information and then deliver it to us, because it's like, I'm just a delivery bot. If you don't want me to upsell you anything and you don't want me to deliver anything, what do you want me to do? It's like, no, you are delivering something. It's going to be like, weird. Okay, we can do this. And the doctor plugs him in, and immediately is like, ow, 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 ow.
Oh God, it hurts so much.
Plug him out, unplug him, and just like scrambles, like, it's too much. And he ends up like, did you hear anything? And it comes up with the message, help me, doctor, help me. It's the system. And she's like, well, what, Twirly, what's the problem?
Like,
it's not me speaking, it's the system speaking. Help me, doctor, help me. Urgent help requested in dispatch area. They're like,
what?
Isn't that where Ryan, Yaz, and Charlie just ran to find Kira? Oh crap.
All right, let's get down there.
Meanwhile, Ryan has revealed his Princess Leia plan. Which is to jump down the chute.
Yes.
At least they didn't find a trash compactor on the bottom of it. What they did find was a massive, no railing, nothing to save you from falling off. Like, incomprehensibly large conveyor system with stuff just going every which way, lightning fast. And I'm like, why? There'd be some kind of guardrails just to make sure the boxes don't tumble off, because I don't care how automated the system is. Gravity is gravity.
Yeah.
And not all boxes are weighted the same. Some are going to roll some here or there. But it's a ludicrously sci-fi sorting system, basically, which is moving at high speeds. And they get off the chutes and they land on the belt and like, yes, we all lived. we're okay. Ryan dealing with his coordination issue. This is a big thing for him, and he turns around to high-five Charlie, and Charlie high-fives him and immediately falls off the conveyor belt. Like,
Ryan pushed him.
Friggin' Richard. No, they high-fived, and when Charlie just overextends himself from the high-five and off balance and falls.
It's Ryan's fault.
Well,
Ryan was trying to kill him.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's just gonna off him.
Yes.
But, and of course, Ryan looks down. Charlie lands on a conveyor belt.
like,
It doesn't
"He
really
lied."
say how far down he actually fell. It could have been just like, ah!
It's
Or it could have been
a
like,
couple of feet.
"Yeah." You're not sure. But Ryan immediately looks at the Yaz and like, I can't go down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. You can jump. No, I really can't.
Really can't.
And Yaz pretty much gives him the
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Because we're going.
And we're going. and they jump down and make it. And there's the big, okay. All right, we're good. We're good. It's all right. And then they get past all of that, only to be somehow sorted off as waste of some sort. And they get deloused, and then they get disinfected, and they're still targeted as an infectious organism, something or another.
Yeah.
So apparently we learned that laser beams at full vaporization mode, randomly shooting around in a friggin' closed environment, will pretty much take care of anything that, can't run. Because they somehow get out of that, and Ryan's just like, I'm never doing that again, ever. Like,
oh, come on, it was fun.
Yeah, I was like, this was not as fun as you thought it was going to be. Right at the beginning there. But they get down there. Now, the doctor, Graham, and Judy all now find their way to the main lobby again. Because the doctor figures out, oh, this is how we get down there. All of these delivery bots have teleport circuits. Duh.
Yeah.
And it's
really-
like, oh, yeah, right, yeah.
It's the second time this episode that the doctor's just been like, it was
I'm
obvious.
an idiot. Yeah. And as she's just triggering the teleport, here comes Slade, gun pointed. Like, what are you all doing? And teleport. And as soon as they rematerialize, the doctor pinkies the neck again with the Venetian jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
And just like smacks the gun away. He's like, all right, seriously, stop that.
No.
And at this point, it's revealed like Slade was actually investigating and recording the people who were missing, but who could he possibly go to? There's nobody he can report to. The system, except for the system, which he thinks is snatching people. He doesn't know if he could trust Judy. He doesn't, so that's why he had to write everything down, because he couldn't put it into the system.
He needed it to be analog.
So it had to be analog. And it's like, okay, maybe you're still kind of a douche, but maybe you're not that big a douche. You're actually attempting to do your job, and you're concerned. You just didn't know who you could turn to do it.
Yeah, you couldn't trust anybody at the time.
And while they're having it out in the corner, Graham finds this little vat that has like a bunch of group loops floating in like green viscous goo, and is like, What's all this about?
What is this?
What's going on here? And the doctor scans and is like, that's the missing people.
That's all of them.
We're under a liquefaction vat. And Graham's like, does anybody have a hanky or something?
I touched them.
Yeah, like, ick.
Soylent Green
ick.
is people.
At which point they turn around like, why would they need this? And they turn around and there is legions of delivery bots just standing in phalanx.
Yeah, just
lined up. And they're like
standing there.
Kind of looks like an army. Foreshadowing. Meanwhile, back to Ryan, Yaz, and Charlie, who have finally found Kira, who is now in a room, has a package in front of her, has a little card that says, for Kira, from Kablam, and she's only ever had one present in her life, so this is kind of an awesome thing, even though she's in a soundproof room, locked in, can't get out, not really picking up on the little details here, Chicky.
Poor kid.
And at which point, the trio outside are trying to get her attention. They're banging on the window, making all kinds of noise. It's clearly soundproof. She can't hear it. Yaz runs around the corner, is trying to find some kind of entrance.
No door handle.
No door at all. And Kira begins to open the gift. We flip back to the doctor and company, where they figure out that all of these bots are just standing around. No deliveries are going out. Slade makes a mention of people complaining that they're not getting their stuff because everything's coming in and it's not going anywhere. They're being held back. And there's another quick power drain, and the doctor's like, wait a minute, what if it's not a power drain, it's being stored? Massive teleportation circuits being charged up. For what? What would you possibly do it? And she turns around and looks at Legion standing behind her.
Yes.
Like, oh, what if they're going to send all of these bots out simultaneously to wherever they're going? And okay, well, why? Well, you said it looks like an army. What do armies usually carry? Weapons. She opens up a box. I'm like, okay, it's just a regular package.
Yeah.
They're all different. No, there's one thing they all have. Bubble wrap. To which we...
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap. We flip back to Kira, who has opened the box, and there is nothing in it but a thin sheet of bubble wrap.
It's just some bubble wrap.
Which is more than a little bit of a tease, but at which point outside, Charlie is now beginning to absolutely freak out.
Yeah.
Try banging on the door, basically almost breaking his hand. It's like he knows something bad is about to happen right here. Tries to warn Kira not to pop the bubble wrap, which of course she does.
Pop.
And then immediately blows up.
Poof.
Completely liquefies.
What?
Yeah.
It's basically she turns into a green mist.
Green mist. Yeah, just one bubble wrap pop. Boom.
Yep.
Like, oh, that sucks. And Ryan immediately calls him out on it. Like, you knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
And Charlie's just stymied and leaning up against the window back to where Kira is now goo. And all he says is, it's done this deliberately. And then they all basically run off to find the doctor. Oh. Because at this point, this is what you do when you see somebody vaporized in front of you.
You're just like, okay, I'm going to go talk to the doctor about that.
Right. At which point we flip back and the doctor has already figured out the bubble wrap.
Yep.
That is, there are a bunch of micro bombs that you pop one, it triggers all of them and will just blow everything up because, of course, everyone will trigger the bomb because who can resist popping the bubble wrap?
Exactly.
At this point, I have a little parenthesis in my notes that says the Joker approves of this one. It's just whimsical enough to be a Joker gag, Like, I'm going to blow you all to hell because you can't resist popping this stuff. Isn't it funny? And it's like the customers are the targets, not the employees. And Graham's aside, Kerblam's trying to kill their own customers. That's the worst business plan I've ever heard. At which point the rest of the group shows up. Ryan's like, yeah, he knew something was going to happen, pointing at Charlie. And after a lot of ranting and monologuing, Charlie is revealed as basically a political terrorist.
And a super genius.
And a super genius. He is literally like friggin' supervillain level smart because he had planned this entire mass murder, basically, to prove that robots can't be trusted and ergo more human workers would be needed because they would reduce automation.
Right.
I was like, wow, okay, Trotsky would be proud. Way to go, comrade.
Seize the means of production.
Right, yeah. And the entire time, the system has been working against him in ways. Even up to the point of grabbing Kira.
And killing her.
And going, oh, okay, so, this is what's going to happen if you go through with this. All of the missing workers he's been grabbing, reprogramming some of the bots to grab these people because he needed test subjects for his little boomies, which, I feel bad for the first person he experimented on. Either it was too powerful and the room blew up, or it was a really painful death.
Yeah, it was not strong enough.
It wasn't enough. Yeah. But he's been planning this for a really long time. He's actually studied cybernetics, explosives, teleportation, and general heinous fuckery in general.
Yes. Ungentlemanly conduct.
Yes. Ungentlemanly warfare. But it's all because he is fighting for the cause of humanity.
Yeah.
He's got, he says, why should we be satisfied and happy that it's only 10% of people working? This is ridiculous.
Should be more people.
If it's, because it's 10% this year, and then it'll be 7, and then it'll be 5, and we should just be happy that we have the jobs we have, and it's ridiculous if nobody does anything. Nobody will. It's a system without conscience. And the doctor's like, whoa, hold on. It does have a conscience.
Yeah.
It called out for help. It's been trying to stop you, even to the point of showing you how bad it would feel, how everyone will feel when those packages go off. What you're feeling for Kira right now is the same thing those families will feel. Something, you got to get it done. You can't do this. And he's like, nope, I'm the mad bomber that went boom at midnight. Don't care. Going, hits the button, smashes the remote, and then scampers away. Into the delivery bots. I'm so sorry. Like, no, you're not, you little bastard.
He's going to basically ride with one of them.
Right. They figure out that, okay, we can't stop them all, so we've got to loop this around. So the doctor uses Twirly to get all of the other bots to deliver the packages to the exact spot that they are now, and to deliver to themselves, and to open the packages and do what everybody does with bubble wrap. At which point Charlie realizes what's going on, because all of the legion of delivery bots are opening the packages and activating bubble wrap now. Graham's like, come back here,
man. You don't have to go out this way.
And he hesitates, and the doctor's like, nope, we're out, and teleports everybody on the balcony away. And Charlie goes kerblam.
Yes. There was a kerblam.
There was a big kerblam. Now, we flip forward, and Slade and Maddox have suspended all operations for a month pending review and letting the teammates rebuild dispatch, because that entire area was blown to smithereens.
Yes.
They were even, and this is awfully white of them, all the human workers were given 2 weeks paid leave and free shuttles back planet side. So the plant is down anyway. And okay, yeah, you're gonna give us 2 weeks paid vacation, even though it's gonna probably be a month or two before this gets running.
Fully automated? They got systems that are working on that already.
Oh yeah, that's true. Robotic slave workforce, Maddox is proposing that the majority of the company be run by humans in the future, to back off on automation. Because, Charlie did have a point. He just went about it in a really bad way.
He had an idea, and he went too far with it.
Right. Just poor execution. Literally. Get it? See what I did there? Maddox then, of course, immediately offers Team Tardis a job, and the doctor's like, no, we're strictly freelance. Thank you.
We're out.
And off they go. Once they're back on the TARDIS, Yaz does ask the doctor if she can take the locket to Dan's daughter.
Yeah.
And just let her know that your father died trying to save me, and he was a really good guy, and he absolutely loved you, and do that sort of thing. And the doctor, of course, is like, yeah, that's a good thing. Let's go do that. And that's the end of the episode. So it's bittersweet at the end, again, honoring the dead and the martyrs among us.
Yeah. Once again, feel good episode with just enough of what's really going, starts off with what's going on.
What's a twist?
And then what's really going on. And then, wait a second, there's a twist. I enjoy it. That type of episode, or storytelling is great for me. Right. But yeah, next week we have
The Witchfinders, which is going to take us to England, 17th century, where the team is going to be involved, become embroiled in some way in a witch trial. And of course, this is the time of King James I.
Yep.
Yeah, he really had a thing against witchcraft.
Yes, just a little bit.
Just a wee bit. But more on that next week.
Yes, can't wait for it. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out the episode this week. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, subscribe, join the notification squad, and remember to keep your eyes and ears out because you never know where or when the doctor's going to show up next, maybe with a package for you.